Welcome to Gary Hobbs, the podcast. Compadre, es que nomás tú lo hacías bien. Y these guys no aprendieron. No so I just brought myself back in.
No hay ánimo.
Sir. Get the middleman.
You gotta do what you gotta do, compadre.
This is Gary Hobbs, the podcast. We are in Eagle Pass, Texas. Johnny D is in the house. Little D, mi compadre, yes, Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Gary Hobbs, the podcast is on GaryHobbs.com, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, LaMeraLeona.net radio every Saturday at 12 noon, and iHeart Podcasts. But a big shout out to proud sponsors, Domingo Garcia Law Firm, CIR Electric, Zero Fee Payments, and Air Express, compadre. Dear friends.
Sure.
Yeah. Man. There you go. Not too much buckle seats today, but we started a subject last week, compadre, and
we're gonna finish it today.
There's part two.
So you gotta hear the whole thing before we comment, and people, our 10 listeners, if they gotta listen, because then if they don't hear everything, pues van a ir a correr con el chisme, el Tejano cheese que we said this.
Oye, ¿qué crees?
Los de Gary Hobbs. No, but because of the past, this All-Star Music Award, ¿verdad?
Yes.
It brought a lot of things to my mind, right? And I'm gonna go somewhere with that in a minute, pero so what I found out, compadre, a little bit is, Jesse Torres, he's a Tejano industry advocate, right? He promotes, ¿verdad? Now, I don't think he's a non-prof, right? I think if you're a non-prof, you gotta, meet the criteria, ¿verdad?
Así es.
Yeah. Pero if you're a sole owner, well, then you can do whatever you want,
basically.
And you gotta think this through, and you hear everything we're gonna comment, pero it is a good thing, that Jesse Torres does. I mean, he promotes, he advocates for Tejano music. Tejano music. Yeah. But so I started seeing, like the 2026, they had some lifetime achievement honorees. First one they put was including Eagle Pass native Oscar Gonzalez, Oscar G. Well, congratulations, Oscar. Congratulations.
Congrats.
What about Dre? What about Dre?
If you know, yeah.
No, David Mattis received one. Now, David Mattis should have received one a long time ago. This is their 8th or something like that. Their 8th All-Star Awards, I think. So, yeah, hosted the 8th annual All-Star Music Awards. So, how does David Mattis not get? I'm going to go back to that in a minute. Now, Eli Da Reina, she retired. She's very deserving, of course, as well. Yes, Stephanie Montiel and Johnny Hernandez. I'm assuming Little Joe's brother, right? Johnny Hernandez is what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So big shout out to them for they received a Lifetime Achievement Award. So congratulations to each and every one of them. Now on like in 2025, these same awards, some of the big winners were Stephanie Montiel and Gabriel Zavala, and that's pretty, that's pretty well known, right? Their history with that. And now on that Lifetime Achievement Awards in 25, it was Ruben Ramos, and executive Jose Rosario.
Okay, yeah.
So now in 2023, they had Entertainer of the Year, is what I'm hearing here, and I think it was reported by Tejano Nation back then. But singer Laura Linda won Entertainer of the Year. Now, Laura Linda is a really good singer, but she doesn't travel like that.
Yeah, she's been out of it for quite a while.
And in 2023, Entertainer of the Year. Now, nothing against Laura Linda. I met her on 2-3 occasions. Wonderful lady. Sings really well. But 2020 top winners at the second annual All-Star Music Awards saw Aisha and Ray Ray take home multiple awards. Now, Aisha was crowned Female Entertainer of the Year. I can see that one, Aisha sings really great. Now, Ray Ray, he's a good singer too. But Male Entertainer of the Year, and Ray Ray doesn't travel like that. He doesn't play like that. So, and it said other prominent 2020 winners included Devin Banda, Female Vocalist of the Year. Well, you can become a Female Vocalist of the Year if you had recordings. If you had recordings, right, and you have a hit or two, I can see that. Tejano Highway 281 was album of the year. I could see a little bit of that. Shelly Lares and J.R. Gomez vocal duo of the year. I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, so we're getting to again, if Jesse Torres is advocating and he's promoting and I don't know what the criteria is, D. So because you brought me this, Little D brought me over
the folder.
report.
Texas Talent Musicians Association for 2026, the awards voting criteria and nomination forms. And my God, there's quite a few pages
Yeah, it's
here,
got a
man.
few pages. That's right.
There's quite a few pages.
Yeah.
Just look at this, guys. I know you can't see it yet, but there you go.
I think it's like 28 pages long.
Is there a criteria nominations forms for the All-Stars? Now the Tejano Music Awards, Texas Music Association, now they're a non-profit. So, everything's got to go over that.
Yeah.
Now, if Jesse Torres is not a non-profit and it's just sole ownership, then he's got a right to do anything he wants.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, so it's all good. If we have more award shows, obviously he's been able to continue 8 years with this.
It's been an ongoing thing. Yeah.
So
pretty good.
So good for Jesse Torres, right? And this isn't that Gary Hobbs didn't win, or that Oscar got a Lifetime Achievement Award before me. No, that's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's that the more people that promote Tejano music is good.
Oh, yeah.
But the criteria, okay. So I want to use a little word that, again, this is not against the All Stars. There's next week we're gonna hit up on another
Ahora.
award show.
Part
¿verdad?
3. Part 3.
Pues le sacaban la garra a los Tejano Music Awards, que siempre lo mismo, los mismos. And I'm on board on that, man. I mean, when Joe Lopez won year after year after year, it's kind of like, okay, and then Bobby won one, or Michael Salgado won one, but then it was Emilio, and Emilio was great, no doubt. And then it's been J. Well, he's phenomenal too.
Yeah.
But do they have the opportunity for other bands to grow? Obviously, I don't have too much to grow. I'm 66 years old, and so 43 years in the business but I think there's been so many opportunities missed for new bands to come in. Now, you want new bands to win to get up there, but are they worthy, Johnny? Are they?
Yeah.
Were they really on radio? Were they
Putting in the work.
well?
There you go. Yeah.
They're winners because I'm the sole proprietor, and I think then that's what's got to be said.
Okay.
But were they on the charts? Too bad we don't have Tejano Top 40, like American Top 40, Casey Kasem. And now I don't even know if he was bought off or politics. Everything has politics, man.
Yeah.
So let's take the word politics off, and the root of that thing is really there's money behind it.
Yeah.
And there's money to be made, ¿verdad? But are they touring? Big shout out to our proud sponsor, Domingo Garcia, and the Domingo Garcia Law Firm, with offices in Dallas, Houston, Odessa, and Fort Worth, Texas. More info at domingogarcia.com. Or are they like millions of YouTube viewers? Or who are the past? Well, we said that last week, like past Tejano winners in any award show.
Yeah.
I mean, qué padre if we had more Tejano shows and that they're growing, but where's the consistency, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how I'm gonna defend myself, because they're gonna say, no, pues le estaba sacando la garra a los All-Stars. No, that's not true. There's a lot of injustices. It's not about I didn't get the Lifetime Achievement. No. Look, y'all heard of Brian McKnight?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Brian? Can that man sing or what? Okay, so that man has been nominated 16 times at the Grammys, and he's never won.
Wow.
Why? Well, because of the prerequisite, the criteria. What is it? Bueno, ahí the Grammys, you have to be with the association. I mean, I'm sorry, you have to be at the with the Grammys.
Yeah.
And you have to qualify to be inside, ¿verdad? Okay. But you're talking Brian McKnight. canta, toca, grava. He's done. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Now let's go to Tejano. Some guy that sings really phenomenal, Jay Perez. He's been nominated 8 times for the Grammy, Latin Grammys. Never won. Where's the injustice to that?
True.
So all of a sudden, Gary Hobbs should win. Pues la política. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does somebody that we really don't even, let's say us 4, we kind of know Tejano, and some of these winners come out and we don't even know their names, much less. No, on the road that's happened to me. Like somebody come up to me, I'd always heard some of these songs and I had never seen you in person. I didn't know it was you. And so yeah, so maybe they heard a certain song, and they just never really knew Tejano, or they didn't know the artist. But in my case, after 40 years, my God, who are these winners? What was the prerequisite? Are they touring? Antes, you could certify a lot of things with the RAIA, ¿verdad? Which means they can certify the record sales, the Recording Association. And so this was a million seller. Pues ya, they're certified. Pues aquí no hay en Tejano music. And especially, now pues everything goes to digital.
Yeah, true.
CDs, people still sell CDs on the road, some of the bands, How can they certify que se vendió? And so next week, I think, I want to look at some of those things, but just a question for around the table. What do you think is the biggest criteria that has to be hurdled through to be a winner? Now, we know as a male vocalist or a female vocalist, what would you say? What would you say would be the criteria? Guys, anybody?
At least to be a good singer. That's the first thing.
Well, yeah, but to me, my mom thought I was the best singer.
Yeah.
So that's my mom.
Well, I guess the popularity, the people.
Again, okay, popularity. How would you gauge it? That they're going to the dances? Who's going to your dances? Or who applauded more at the concerts for you? Or
for the actual nomination you're talking about, right? For just the actual.
Well, I think in general, Johnny, just que ganó el male vocalist, that certain person. An entertainer. What is entertaining? Well, he made me dance. He made me feel good, or did he play instruments, or did he, jump up and down? He cayó en la de mera boca. He kept his balance like a circus.
I think it should be like whoever works the most. Who's on the road, or how many times they play your music on Spotify.
Ruben Pacheco would be the winner. Of everything. He plays 15, 17 times a month everywhere. Big shout out, Ruben Pacheco and Bogus, dear friend of ours, So you see how you can kind of debate always. Quien gana, okay. So that entertainer, like I had this conversation once with somebody from TTMA. I won't mention his name, right? I won't, Frank Salazar. And so, and I said, right, what, it says show band of the year. I mean, in other places they'll say entertainer, but show band. What is show band? Show band. They put on a show. Who had more lights? Well, then I was never gonna win the show band. Who had more lights? Who had concussions? Who had dancers in the back? What is a show?
Tap dancing.
Show band. Was they entertained? Was then Sunny Sauceda should win every,
Well, back in the day, it was La Sombra.
Pues sí.
Oh, yeah.
La Sombra.
But they were coordinated and they danced. Yeah, I get it. No, those were entertainers. Yeah. Well, and they still are. Please don't misunderstand.
Chamacos.
But see the word show band. Best new male vocalist or Horizon Award. He's coming up on the horizon. ¿Verdad? But there's so many things that people really don't stop and think.
Dig into it, right?
Yeah, and dig into it.
Yeah.
So many awards. So because the All-Star Awards were just like 2 weeks ago or something like that, and they're making the headlines and news, and so it's not like we're picking on them. Now, are we picking on some of their choices? Well, again, were they by vote? And somebody may throw us an email. Nobody does, but and tell us what the prerequisites or we should study it. D, you're our investigator here. So the All-Star Awards, Tejano All-Star Music Awards. I want to know what their prerequisites are, and they have some categories there that I was kind of like intrigued.
So and I'm sorry, and that's what I was telling Johnny right now, that the categories, they're kind of all over the place. Also the nominees as well, right? So, but no, we'll definitely investigate that and see what the prerequisites were.
Well, every award show has its criteria. But then there's bands, pobrecitos, youngsters, they don't know. They don't know the politics, the money behind it. They don't know the format, the concept of the awards, that certain awards, and they'll never get their name, nominated. Now, Tejano Music Awards puts a little disclaimer, a little asterisk there. Yeah. Tejano Music Awards does not nominate, artists. It's got to come from the artist or their management, or it's got to come from their record label. Yeah. In the 90s, honestly, we never took care of that. It was the record labels, So there's been several years that our names, Gary Hobbs, and our albums or whatever, nothing is on the ballot because we didn't register. Okay. And to be honest, I didn't really care to register. Okay. But there's people really wanting to be out there and the award shows and partake and, hacer el trabajo, hacer el jale, compadre. There's people that they think that they have 1,000 views on their profile. They think que ya le hicieron.
Oh no, yeah.
And how it's sad but true, but you can manipulate anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I could manipulate YouTube, and you have 100, 200, 300,000. De repente, there's you buy people off. There's people that you pay them, and they're le están ataque. But that doesn't give you. Don't do that, young artist, because it doesn't give you a good barometer. Yeah. You can't gauge it, And so I'd rather, this thing only had 70,000 views, and my competitor, my colleague, he's got 800,000 and 2 million views, and I don't do that, but other people do that. But I think the word, you can have your award shows. An example, we just let the cat out of the bag, or the dog out of the bag. The one reason that we started today's Tejano segment is because the long-term view on that was today's Tejano radio on the internet and today's Tejano Music Awards. That is something that's always been the last 8-10 years in the back of our heads, but we've never divulged it to people. Now, but should we have the today's Tejano? There's no way that I came up with the concept. There's no way that I could put my name on the ballots. Whether I actually deserve to be on the ballots or not, but I wouldn't do that. But that's something maybe we can discuss next week. How would we gauge that? Like, are we going to listen to just who came out on Rudy Terviño's Tejano Gold Countdown, or we're going to use K Alamo, Lopez Broadcasting, or we're going to use Tejano Nation? Man, we're La Medallona, but how do they get their top 10? Yeah. How do they get their top 20? Should we be the new Tejano top 20? Yeah. Top 40. We want to thank our proud sponsor, CRI Electric in San Antonio, Texas. Family and veteran-owned commercial, residential, industrial electrical services on electrical, data, voice, science, and solar. Give them a call at 210-509-8889. Big shout out Israel and Christine Garza, CRI Electric. Because I can make a jingle on AI de volada, vato. De
Oye,
volada.
compadre, and you're gonna think that? Do you think they're gonna make a AI award?
Hey. Okay, so
Who's
somebody
the best AI singer.
Now, those of you that like to listen in with us and like to follow through with things that our things is not BS. We kind of like put it out there, ¿verdad? Pero those of you that like to go to YouTube, compadre, and listen to music on YouTube and look at videos or whatever. Okay, so there's an AI artist. Y él se llama Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, Eddie Dalton, D-A-L-T-O-N. Y lo pintan así como que es un negrito ya de edad. But listen to all his songs. Oh my God, it's like, you know, the music, the lyrics, so he's an AI artist. Eddie Dalton.
Yeah, because
Está desgraciado la máquina.
I was talking to this guy ahora en la mañana the radio station de Nampa, Idaho, and he said,
You mean RQ?
Mr. RQ, yeah.
Qué raro. Hey, shout out RQ. And then?
Yeah, he was telling me that he heard a new song on the radio también, and he said, I was looking for it. I was willing to buy a CD or whatever it was. It was just an AI thing.
Really?
No, nobody was the singer, no artist, and it was just AI.
Wow.
Because it sounded badass. It sounded really good. I wanted to buy a CD or something. He said, no, it was just an AI thing. No, it's nobody. There's no artist. It's just AI.
No, evidently it is something or somebody, compadre, because
somebody had to input all that stuff in there.
And I get it. I mean, you know, the 90s, you know,
it was probably Johnny D or something.
No, well, I mean, when auto tune came in, you know, everybody now they were in tune.
Yeah.
You know, and then en los bailes bien desafinado. There's quite a few artists like that, pero now AI artists and again that Eddie Dalton canta en inglés, no, but hey, maybe lo hacen bilingual al vato, no sé.
De repente,
you know? Yeah. But again, the word, what would we do to make it precise and honest, but have integrity? And because hey, if some of these artists really, I mean, to that person who's making the awards, he really thought that person should be Entertainer of the Year, and that person really isn't even on the road. How can you entertain? So you know, it's like, you know, I don't know what other words to say. It's like, to me, it's not on the up and up. It was your opinion. They're your awards. Well, if we had awards, I wouldn't do that, man. I would say, who's out there playing the most right now and configure in the crowds and his or her records, and have they been at the top shows? Have they? I don't know how you could verify record sales, man, because any label could say, no, well, he sold millions. Bueno, pues we want to see if the artist got the royalty check. You know, wow, because now they're on record saying our art was, a label's not going to say that.
True.
But what do we do?
They're gonna make another award, the most working band on the year or whatever. And everybody's gonna be posting their schedules and
maybe we should just call it the real Tejano Music Awards. I mean, again, the Tejano Music Awards has been accused of that for years, man. You know, and they say it's by ballots. You know, and now it's and now you vote by. You vote on the internet, right?
Yeah,
or
yes. All it is.
Well, you think that can be manipulated? You're in IT.
Well, I could register like 5 different emails.
Was Johnny? Why haven't I won, Johnny? Dun, dun, dun. Why didn't you tell me? Oh, but you see what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. The integrity is like someone that's on the road like me. I would understand that I don't know a lot of things about the Grammys because I'm not involved, although I am a member, but I don't go to the mixers. Oh my God, the people go to those mixers, like, you know, songwriters and musicians and artists that are part of the Academy, ¿verdad? But I never go, so I wouldn't know too much about that. But Tejano music in general and being on the road, and maybe we're being excluded because now we're Tejano, the old school, the los señorones, and there's a new thing happening, pero pues there's Tejano radio, and I know what they're playing, and so some of these people, I now, could you have one hit, Johnny? One hit and you're a new guy, and that makes you vocalist of the year, yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have a new song, y pegó con tubo, you know, and you may not have gotten out there a lot because apenas te conocen. So you can't just relate it to being on the road performing. In that case, there's several of us that would be winning every year. Yeah. It's not about that. So there's a lot of things about these awards that if they're going to help us grow, I don't see how you could really give too much advice to some of these veterans. No, David Lee and Jay and Ram and Marcos, us, too much advice about awards and expanding our business. And, you know, there sure is things out there. But the new cats, you know, the new young bands, you know, why aren't the 20, 30-year-olds following them? Why don't they have band members? Why don't they have musicians doing their thing, ensayando, instead of FaceTiming, getting on TikTok because they want to be more influencers? And we're here downtown. You know, we're with the Spurs parade. Well, I get it. We all love the Spurs. Okay, so right now, because they're winning, right? Hey, but in vez de estar ensayando, grabando, doing, man, there's a lot of things that come into, you know, play. You want to win awards, but you don't want to do the time of having a band and rehearsing and la frega. Please excuse me, la chinga, you know? Yeah, but next week we're going to hit into some other awards, and it's not criticizing them. It's not doubting. Now, again, for any disclaimer, with Jesse Torres, if he owns those awards, he can do anything he wants with it. He thinks that these people, and when you look at some of the, like the Lifetime Achievement, I mean, there's some winners this year that should have gotten it before the ones in the second or the third or the fourth year. You see what I'm getting? Yeah. But that's up to Jesse. He's the, you know, if he owns it, if he's got a committee. But D, you're an investigator. We need to find out, see, what is the prerequisites. You know, no. And again, remember, Jesse's a Tejano music advocate. He's promoting Tejano, man.
Oh yeah.
And so our hats off and big shout out to that. But there's a lot of people that aren't going to help you grow unless they believe in you.
Correct.
And next week we're going to hit on another award that I thought, like, man. And I'll give you a little tidbit. Tejano Roots Hall of Fame.
Let's do it.
Tejano Roots Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
And that's also going to bring us to a conversation about these Tejano Legend chapters. Sure. Because some of these people, they induct 38 people in a year. And we'll talk about that next week. Yeah. This is Gary Hobbs, the podcast, Eagle Pass, Texas. We'll be right back. Zero fee payments, providing trusted payment solutions for businesses of all kinds with no contracts, no hidden fees, and free equipment. For more information, call or text 830-461-0905. Before we leave, my compadre, time flies when you're having a lot of fun and chingos of feria coming in, man. Chingos of feria. Man.
All the listeners.
Okay, let's predict how many lawsuits next week.
Híjole.
True.
Ya me están llegando los emails.
Pues we want to remind everybody before we leave, Gary Hobbs Family and Friends Cruise 2027. It's coming January 31st through February 7th, 2027. You can register by calling Happy Mireles at 469-450-1168. Happy Mireles 469-450-1168. You can visit GaryHobbsCruise.com for more information. Who's appearing? Pues Gary Hobbs.
There you go.
Yeah.
¿Qué más quieren?
The one and only.
No,
Gary
the one and
Hobbs.
only Stephanie Montiel is on board with us. Mr. Joe Posada. I'm looking forward to having Joe again. He's just phenomenal. David Olivares, compadre. David kicked it on the last cruise. We're grateful he's back with us. Also, we have Texas Latino, compadre. They're award-winning musicians. Tejano Music Award winners. Texas Latino, San Antonio. The Crazy Pimps. They're also Tejano Music Award winners. They're from Homeboys, Eagle Pass, Texas. Now we do have Tejano Loco on board, of course. And we do have DJ Tiffy Tiff on board. And we're going to special appearances by Gabriel Zavala, Lily Vela, and Johnny D. compadre.
Johnny D.
¿Qué hace Johnny D ese compadre?
¿Quién sabe? Pero ahí anda.
Te vas a andar pasando por ahí enfrente del stage, compadre, estorbando, es todo lo que hace.
I know who, compadre. Trae un saxofonita.
Sí.
Yeah.
Se le olvidó entrar como 3 rolas.
Now to our listeners, all 10, 11, maybe after the lawsuits next week, maybe 8. But we do have 3 dances, compadre. 3 full dances for our listeners. That means it's not a jam session. It's 3 dances. We have a pool party. We also have a Gary Hobbs podcast meet and greet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now we do have, compadre, also a Tejano Loco beach party with DJ Tiffy Tiff. That's gonna be at Mr. Sancho's. And for those that were with us last year, it was just phenomenal because like 500 Tejano cruisers in the same section, compadre. It's not like you go to other cruises and you go to the beach, but to get 500 people there together, that's what we do.
Yeah.
But this year, compadre, we've added a dance floor. So you can hit the beach. You can, of course, eat and drink all you want there at Mr. Sancho's. And then you can even dance there. And Tejano Loco is going to be there. Of course.
Coconut shrimp.
Shrimp. Oh my.
Coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp. Johnny, that's the only reason you go to these cruises, right?
One of the reasons.
No. Well, also to our listeners, we are on GaryHobbs.com. Facebook, we're Gary Hobbs Official. Instagram, Gary Hobbs Official. On X, Gary Hobbs Official. TikTok, GaryHobbs.official. And we do have our GaryHobbsCruise.com, of course, for information to our cruises, and also on YouTube. What is it, Johnny? Is it
It's official Gary Hobbs Cruise
all right,
on YouTube.
Now, this week, I want to let everybody know that this Friday, June the 5th, Tercia Tejana. That means we're heading to Guadalupe, Nuevo León, Mexico, compadre.
Oh, yeah.
We are at El Corral Western Club with Juan P. Moreno. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Ram Herrera, Gary Hobbs, the usual suspects. This is Friday in Guadalupe, Nuevo León, Mexico. Big shout out, Jorge Alvarez. Jorge, thank you, brother. Saturday, we are back in Texas, con el favor de Dios, at El Campo Civic Center, El Campo, Texas. Very next day. I'll tell you a joke about that in a minute. Sunday, June the 7th, we are in Martindale, Texas, with the Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic Church Festival on June the 7th, Sunday. Now, compadre, Friday at this Tercia Tejana, that people don't know, but over there, the last band goes on at 3 in the morning. Wow. 3 to 4:30. Now, what they also don't know is that Mexico is an hour earlier right now. So when we get on at 3 in the morning to 4:30, it's really 4 to 5:30 here in Texas. Y acabando, we pack it up, compadre, because we got to come back to Texas and head to El Campo, Texas, to El Campo Civic Center.
Who's driving?
Nomás para que, te dé más ánimo, compadre. Nomás para que te dé más ánimo, ¿verdad? But, y dicen que Tejano está well, va a ser la manejada, compadre.
Decent.
We got any shout-outs, any birthdays, any anniversary, compadre?
Just Mr. RQ.
RQ.
Morning show.
We're heading out there September
13th. Let's get in. We'll see you over there.
Pues thank you, Johnny D, Little D, mi compadre Jay-Z. My name is Gary Hobbs, the OG, Old Gary. This is Gary Hobbs, the podcast, Eagle Pass, Texas. Till next week. Con el favor de Dios, Dios los guarde. Dios los cuide. God bless.
See ya.
Go Spurs, go.
We want to and a big shout out to our proud sponsor, Air Express Air Conditioning and Heating. They're bonded and insured. They do service, sales, installs, and repairs. You can call them at 210-601-2678. That's 210-601-2678. Big shout out Javier and Sally Gomez for all your air conditioning and heating needs. Call Air Express.